is going to improve.
I'd just like to add another dimension from my side, if you allow.
Yeah.
This is a great example.
Yeah.
Really great. So I just read one nice article.
Mm-hmm.
The author described this as dining table university.
Nice.
So the family conversations and dining table are the most powerful conversations,
Yeah.
where all the members of the family come together. They talk about their passion, their interests, how did the day go, how did the week go, what
Yeah.
they look forward to the next day, next week, and so on. Very powerful metaphor.
Yeah. Beautiful. Very nice. Thanks for sharing. Yeah. Anybody else? Do you feel like this is going to help you guys too, based on the busy, crazy times that we are in? And with remote working and working from home, we hardly get to spend time with our families, though we get enough time with the families. It's a paradox, right? Okay, here's another example. This is Christina Wodke's example, where she talks about her own. So at that time when she wrote this, she was, trying to be a professional author. And, so her objective was model life as a professional author. And her key results were this. Radical Focus, the book that she was talking about, she's saying that we'll sell it in 2 more languages. Sorry, there's a typo. With 90% 5-star reviews. Right? And her second KR is a rough draft of the CF Alpha Reader list with actionable feedback. I don't know what that means. Working with Pictures V2 on Amazon with 4-star reviews. Right? So this was, as an author, she had her own personal OKRs. Right? So, which means personal OKRs are possible. And the people who have designed OKRs and been championing OKRs have done it for themselves, not only for their organizations, but for themselves. So I went ahead and did one for myself. Okay, just before this session, I don't know how effective it's going to be or not, but I just gave it a shot. So here is what I feel. My objective is to become a sought after leadership agility coach. When I say sought after, it's inspirational because I don't want to be a normal, leadership agility coach that just comes, talks, shares, and goes back, right? I want to be sought after, which means I want people to come and reach out and ask, would you want to, help me, or would you want to help my organization? That's the power, that I want to bring. But the key results for me are, I want to not just be a normal, coach. I want to be having experience in various domains. So I'm saying I want to coach at least in 3 different industries, and I've named them. I want to be a hardware, I want to work in a hardware industry and help leadership, develop or enable agility for themselves. I want to work in academia. I want to be part of the banking industry, data analytics, and IT. Out of the 5 that I've listed, I want to coach at least 3 different industries. Okay. The second, if somebody has to seek me, then they also have to know where I am and what I do, and I should have some kind of a social media brand presence. So currently with the LinkedIn and alone, I'm nowhere available except for AgileWaters, and LinkedIn, and maybe a couple here and there. So I feel my brand presence is about 10%. So I'm telling I want to improve my brand presence by another 20%, which is move from 10 to 30. And that's not going to be easy because it's a whole wide world, and I have to figure out how to do that. But that's the outcome I'm looking for. And at the end of this year, I also want to have confirmed partnership with at least 3 organizations from the top 3 industries, which I've listed. And I want to be working with them so that I create a name and I can be sought after this year. Okay. So that's my key results. Now, to your point, Shri, I also put some activities out there to enable my brand presence or the 3 key results. One is I want to go out as a speaker at least 1 webinar every month. And that's why you'll see me in AgileWaters quite often, and I'm also trying to do somewhere else as well. Write 1 blog every 2 weeks on relevant focus topics. I am clearly focusing on agility, leadership, psychological safety, and culture. And that's why you will see when I speak, I'm talking about these topics. When I write, I'm talking about these topics because I have a clear focus, right? I also want to conduct awareness orientation workshop for potential partners for at least 6 organizations. If I do that, I may have a 60%, 50% success rate of working in 3, which means that has to be really, really effective. And these are some of the things that I want to do. So while objective is aspirational for me, key results are outcomes and are number driven. I also put outputs or activities that I will, do on a weekly, monthly basis so that I can achieve some of these. And this is not a big list or a comprehensive list. This is just some of them. So each of these 3 key results may have 10, 20 activities for the quarter. So it is up to me how I want to design it and how fast I want to get. And this is not, though this is an objective for this quarter, I'm going to continue with the same objective for multiple quarters because this is not a one-time achieving kind of an event. I will need maybe a year or 2 years or 3 years, who knows, based on how much I will achieve on the outputs and key results, right? But I am going to go ahead with passion, with, with a power saying that I'm going to try and do this and I will do it, but this is a stretch for me. It's not easy. It says moving out of my comfort zone. I was telling Sharvari the other day, I don't like being on videos, but I'm being on videos or webinars on videos because I want to get out of that uncomfortable space, right? And it will take time. Okay, so what are your thoughts? Do you guys think that this is good? Can I do something better? Have I captured it effectively like the way I say it? What do you guys think?
Oh, this is really awesome.
Thanks, Hiren.
So, OKRs in person, I also what I was about to say when we started this read your presentation is that it gives that sense of purpose and meaning
Yeah.
to your life, right? And yeah, so you will definitely like to once in a while let your hair down to things which are not in your plans, but then life has to happen the way you want it.
Correct. And if you don't design it, to your point earlier, you're just going to live by.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. So now action forward. What is that one thing you want to do towards achieving your goal in the next 1 week? If you're not comfortable saying it loud, just put it in the chat. Vijay will help me read it out.
So I already put my my personal goal in earlier in the chat.
Yeah.
I've already created kind of a scheduler timeline and got into a group of like-minded people who share the same interests, and they are also like part of the group where we meet once in a week, and then we identify what all segments. It's a very vast topic, so we try to create some focus areas. Okay, we'll not just simply go out and sing anything that we want to. We'll pick up, as we call, different genres, and then we'll say, okay, fine, we will pick up an area in each, and then we'll collaborate, and then we'll share the feedback. So we have picked up 2 very accomplished maestros who are into classical and semi-classical. They will give us a feedback. So we'll have a one session with them every fortnight. So we'll share our recordings with them, and they'll give us a tips and feedback. Okay, where are we? Where we need to improve it. So just sharing, on the goal that I just mentioned on the person.
Awesome. Thank you, Hiren.
And Chaitrali on chat, she says, I want to be a contributor in organization transformation topic.
Nice. So you'll have to be a little more specific, Chaitrali. What of there are, because transformation is happening in so many areas. So which is that one piece that you will pick and you will focus on, clearly. And if you clearly specify that, it will make your life easy. Then you can list down the key results that you want to do, go after. And then each key results can have a list of activities or outputs that you want to focus on. And that can have dates on a daily basis, weekly basis, for the whole quarter, right?
Thank you, Rashmi. Thank you for the inputs.
Thank you. All right. What other questions do you guys have? Here are some, anti-patterns. Most often here is something that we will, OKR may not be effective because of these reasons. Sometimes we use OKRs as a task list. If you use the OKR to measure and adding value, it works, not if you're delivering tasks. Okay, so you need to understand the difference between value-based key results and activity-based key results. If you're just focusing on activities, then you're focusing on the outputs. If you're focusing on value, then you're focusing on the outcomes. So what kind of key results are you writing down? That really matters. Second is, if you have too many OKRs, you will not end up doing anything, because if everything is priority, then it's not priority, right? OKR, you have to list down your top priorities, pick 3 at a max. And then OKR is your definition of what most important is during the quarter. And if you're using value-based key results, you need to focus. Otherwise, most of you or your teams will not remember the OKRs because there are too many to remember, right? Another biggest mistake that most of us do is not aligning your OKRs. It's an alignment tool. If you do it in isolation alone, if it's a personal OKR, totally makes sense. But if you are doing it in an organization for your own teams, with which will impact the organization goal or organization's success, then if you're doing it in isolation and not doing it in alignment with the rest of the folks, then it's not going to be effective. It's not going to work. You have to talk to other teams. You have to identify dependencies. You have to identify the risks involved, the timing, how are you going to contribute to each other's goals and success. All of that needs to be aligned. Otherwise, again, it won't be effective. Sometimes we are very gung-ho about the whole thing. We set OKRs, but we forget about it. OKR is a living and breathing document. It's just a tool like any other tool. Unless you apply it, with effectiveness, it's not going to work. Unless you go back and evolve it and see it, whether it is making sense, whether it is still relevant based on the changes that are happening internally and externally. And if you don't regularly follow through, you will not be able to achieve them. So these are some of the anti-patterns, very, very common. Whenever you set up OKRs, try and see if any of these are showing up. If they are, then go ahead and change it. Right. And if you go to philippecastro.com, there is also an implementation tool book that you can download for free. So you could go to philippecastro.com and download an ebook on how to implement or adopt OKRs. That has a very comprehensive, detailed way how to implement OKRs. Where does it fit in? It has 3 steps like set, align, and rework on it and things like realign. So which means it's not a one done thing. You're going to keep realigning it over and over while your check-ins are going on, and make sure that you're achieving and progressing. Okay, so that is something you guys can do too. These are some of the fun facts. Why OKR has become famous. Only 5% of the employees understand their company's strategy and vision. Only 58% of the employees say that their managers clearly communicate the goals and objectives. Most of them say they get a document that they need to do this and they just do it, right? 50% of the employees work on non-productive goals because they don't have clarity, right? 84% of the companies are not using their workforce to their full potential because they're not involving them in decisions and creating OKRs with them. They're just giving it top down. 40% of the CEOs cite failure to align as the single greatest reason to executing strategy. If you don't align, then you're not achieving those results, right? And for only 47% of the people are actually satisfied with the organization system of managing their performance. OKR becomes really, really powerful because it does not tie your results with the compensation, and hence you won't be dinged for trying and experimenting and getting creative. Because objectives are most often moonshots. They are stretch. They are not a normal goals that you have. There is how can you take your team, yourself to the next level, right? So if you're going to ding people on trying hard and trying to get to the next level, then it's not going to work out for you, right? So here are some quick best practices. Pursue no more than 3 objectives at any given point, no more than 3 key results per objective. You have to set them quarterly, review it monthly, if not weekly. And it should be transparent and visible to all employees at any point in time. And because it's a stretch goal, because it's a moonshot, 70%, even if you achieve 70%, it's a sweet spot. It's a good thing to do, because that means you have achieved whatever you wanted to achieve. Probably you couldn't stretch, and that's okay. Right?
Rashmi, one
And
quick question, sorry.
yeah.
If it is not been tied to any performance-oriented aspect, you set some targets as achieve 70% or 80% or something like that.
Yeah.
End of the day, when there is no motivation for any employee is supposed to be as a bonus or a promotion or an incentive, something like that. If that is not been assured, what is the alternative aspect of attaining this goal?
No, we are not saying that their performance will not be measured. We are saying we won't use OKRs to do that. You will still have performance goals. You'll still have to do whatever is listed in the JD, and that will happen. But when you separate OKRs from compensation and promotion, where there is an ambitious goal required, not a normal business as usual. We are talking about having ambitious goals, that is moving out of your comfort zone. It's hard for people to put ambitious goals if you say your EMI is at stake or your kids' college fees is at stake. So they won't do it. So instead, keep performance separate and keep OKR goals achievement as just one other input to determine how that individual is doing really well or not. It's not all. It is just one of the many parameters. Then you will be able to bring a balance. But if you only choose OKRs to say, okay, if he doesn't achieve this, then we're going to ding him in performance, then it's not going to work. So you consider this just another extra input to determine the individual's performance, not the complete thing. Then it will work. That's what we're trying to say by we're going to separate, OKRs from performance metrics and compensation.
Okay.
Okay, so OKRs have a unique philosophy. They have to be ambitious, they have to be measurable, transparent, and aligned. If you're not able to do even one of these, then it may lose its essence. So the key takeaways from this whole conversation was less is more. When you limit your OKRs, then you will be able to work on what matters to you most. Set goals from the bottom up. Your team members are the ones who are going to do the work. So if you want to promote engagement, focus on their input, focus on their opinions, and then create the top-down, top level OKRs from bottoms up. And stay flexible. If an objective is no longer practical or relevant because of changing market, internally and externally, you have to modify it even in mid-cycle, and that's okay. Okay. And allow people to fail, because it's an aspirational goal, and there definitely is going to be a learning out of this. So it's okay to fail and bring that culture in. And these are stretch goals, these are moonshot, and hence be patient and be resolute. Every process that we are in today, because we are in the VUCA world or the complex environment, it is going to be a trial and error. So for you to implement or learn how to even do the OKRs will take 5 to 6 cycles. So if you do it once and if it doesn't work, don't drop it. Stay patient, continue to focus, and ensure that you're going to, continue to build on this, because it's very easy. The process is very simple. It's very easy to understand, but difficult to master, because there are so many minds involved and so many conversations required. Okay, so here are some references for the reading. Most of the content that you have here is from Radical Focus. And Felipe Castro has also written a book, so you can go back. And John Doerr is the one who implemented it at Google. So there are some amazing examples how it worked for Google. So you can read these. This is my request. Just post one key takeaway for you from this webinar today in the chat window, so that I see that there is value from what I'm doing. And that's it. Thank you so much for having me, and it was awesome. So I think we are on time. So if we have a couple of minutes, if you want to share something, please do.
Absolutely, bang on time. Did you have it in your OKR?
Yes,
Okay.
I timed it. And it also worked in my favor because nobody spoke as much as I thought they would. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so I'm getting some inputs on chat. Very good session. Key takeaway is better understanding of the OKR and how to apply these. Thanks, Rashmi and AgileWaters. Jay, okay, personal OKR. Okay. Awesome. So if there is nothing else, I'm
Sure.
happy to be here, and thanks for giving me this time.
Yeah. So thank you so much everyone for joining in. As usual, every Saturday, same time, same location. Please keep joining us, and definitely I'm gonna again request Rashmi for another session. That's an extension of the one that she took last time.
Emotional intelligence.
Yes, emotional intelligence. Yeah. So this is a topic that is, I think, people need it a lot, especially after pandemic. Things are going a lot emotional on organizational front or personal front. So definitely that would help. Yeah, people live on LinkedIn or here, if you have any suggestions for any topics, please let us know. WhatsApp us on 940504560, and we would plan that session for you. So also go to our YouTube channel if you have missed, if you want to showcase this particular topic or any topic from the history since last 1 year plus, please go to our YouTube channel and subscribe it. That's going to help you and your friends and everyone. Thank you so much, and see you next Saturday, same time, same location. Bye-bye from agilewaters.com. See ya.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Jay. Thanks, Rashmi. Wonderful.
Bye.